Hey everyone. Whew. Hope everyone is having an amazing day today. I am Tanisha, Shanee, Miss Inspiration, and I have a message. Message! So, let me just quickly bring some people in. All right. So, today, on my way home today, Ruth came to mind. And not even Ruth, Naomi came to mind. Right. So, in the book of Ruth, they talk about Naomi. Naomi was Ruth's mother-in-law, and I know we all need a Naomi in our lives. Naomi was not only strong, but Naomi had strategy. She had insight, she had knowledge that she can share, that she has shared, and it was beneficial to Ruth, right? Naomi had strategy. So in the book of Ruth, chapter 3, verse 3 to 4, we start to see where Naomi is about to give Ruth instructions. Like, all right, this is what you're gonna do, right? And when you read it, that's how I read it. Like, okay, so this what in verse 3, she starts off, and this is what I need you to do. Now, the reason why we all need a Naomi in our lives is because two things stands out, at least for me, when it comes to Naomi. First thing, and I put it opposite on my in my post, but the first thing is her strength, right? Naomi is able to give insight. She's able to give wisdom in her own moments of grief. Naomi also went through her own levels of grief. So not only did Ruth lose her husband, but Naomi also lost her son. She lost her husband. She was going through her own mourning. It wasn't just Ruth. So to have someone in your corner, someone to speak life into you, to give you wisdom, to give you knowledge, to give you insight in the midst of their own storm, is something that you cannot take away. We can't even downplay that because that is a level of strength that a lot of us need, that a lot of us don't have. So we have to pay attention to who are the people that are speaking life into us. What are they going through? And you might not know what they're going through day by day. You may not know all of the details. But when you start to understand, like, because you will know, like, this person is going through something. This is why don't ever judge a book by its cover. I will never forget, one of my friends said to me a couple of years ago how she was on a bus. There was a homeless man on the bus. She was going through some stuff, and the homeless man, like, turned around, and this man just, like, spoke life into her. Everything that she was praying for, everything that she was dealing with, this man was able to speak. Like, God used that man at that particular time. As I say, that anointed and appointed time, he used that homeless man who could have easily turned the situation around to only focus on himself. So when we look at Naomi, Naomi could have sat and she could have just focused on what do I need to do? But she's worrying about Ruth. You need to find a husband. You need to find a place for you to stay. Like, I guess she knew that she was on borrowed time, Naomi. So she's like, I'm not gonna be here. So I need you to now make sure that before I leave this earth, I need to make sure that you're good. So when she sat and she gave Ruth those strategies, she was speaking not only from just what she knows, but she was also speaking from her own personal experiences. But the part, like I said, the part that stands out so much to me is that Naomi was able to speak and give wisdom and give insight and knowledge while she was in her own mourning. She was dealing with her own trials and tribulations. Those are the type of characteristics that we need to look for in a coach and a mentor, someone that is going to speak life into you. What is that person doing in the midst of their storms? The one thing that I had to learn as a coach is that even when I was going through stuff, I never understood why God still wanted to use me, even though I was going through something. Like with God, I'm equally going through a trial and tribulation, but you're using me to speak life into someone? Shouldn't it be the opposite? Shouldn't I only be given wisdom and knowledge when I'm out of the storm? That's not going to be the case, right? It's not always going to be the case. The second thing, and the most important thing, the reason why we need a Naomi in our life, Naomi had so much wisdom. She had steps and strategies, right? So in verse 3 and 4, she's basically telling Ruth what to do. Like, all right, so you need a husband. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put on some perfume. You're gonna take a nice shower. You're gonna put on some perfume. You're gonna go ahead. You're gonna do all of these different things. She's giving her knowledge. She's giving her wisdom, things that maybe Ruth didn't know. Maybe Ruth didn't utilize those same strategies when she got her first husband, right? We don't know. It doesn't speak of that. But what we do know is how she got Boaz. Let me not say how she got Boaz. How her and Boaz came together. It came from Ruth. It came from Naomi. If we really think about it, even back in chapter 2, right? Naomi sent Ruth to the fields. Like, okay, so go over there, right? And I'm gonna need you to go get us some food. So if we really think about it, I truly believe Naomi was a part of the strategy of Ruth and Boaz coming together. See, when Ruth's husband passed away, Naomi said, "Let's go back to my hometown." Right? So she went back to home. She went back to where she knew that, hey, my daughter, right, who no longer has a husband, I need her to be remarried. She knew there were available men back in her hometown, and she went back home with her daughter, right? Because we're going to just say, forget about daughter-in-law, that was her daughter. So now they go back. Strategy, plan, God ordains. Then you send her into a field knowing she knew who that field belonged to. She knew. She wasn't stupid. We know Naomi knew, right? But she had to send Ruth there. Naomi knew what light Ruth had because that's the only way. When we read Ruth, and I read that chapter, I can envision there being multiple women in that field. But for whatever reason, and this is, oh God, thank you, Jesus. No matter what, even though there could have been 50 other women in that field, Ruth stood out. Ruth had a different light, a different aura, a different energy around her. So even though there might have been other women, other attractive women, other women that Boaz probably have never seen before, but because she was sent there, okay, this was a part of all of God's plan. Because see, God needed Ruth and he needed Boaz to come together. But he also needed a Naomi to help orchestrate that, right? Because if Naomi never said, "Come with me and come back to my hometown with me," we wouldn't have that story. We wouldn't have it, Ruth and Boaz. And if you really think about it, we go all the way down. It connects to who? To Jesus, right? So, looking at Naomi, when I think of this story, I feel like, yes, Ruth and Boaz is very important, but Naomi played such an important part. She was like that mentor. She's lived life. She's speaking from firsthand experience. She's not only telling you what the textbook told you. She's telling you because she knows. She may not know exactly what perfume Boaz might have liked, but she know a man like him. He likes a woman that smells good. She knew all the different intricate parts that are going to be so vital to this relationship, to it coming together. But we have to see that. We have to see that connection. We have to want to see that connection, right? We have to understand that having a Naomi in our lives is going to be a blessing. Because even though we can hear God, sometimes God understands. You may not fully understand everything that He's telling you to do. It might not make sense to you. So He has to send a Naomi who is reflective of wisdom, reflective of knowledge. He sends a Naomi into your life to now speak of the things that you're supposed to do. God ordained steps that are being given to you through the messenger that God sent for you. See, God is going to choose which messengers He needs. That's why I said the friend of mine who had the homeless man, the messenger was a homeless man. That means that God can use anyone to use at that particular time to speak life into you because that person is making themselves available. And a lot of us don't make ourselves available. We sit and we wallow in our problems. See, Naomi didn't sit and wallow in her problems. It takes strength for a person to put aside their own pain, to speak life into someone else, to help push them forward, to help elevate them. I'm going to say that again. It takes a very strong and powerful person to put aside their problems, their woe is me, all of this to help push you so that you can elevate to the next level, so that the doors of opportunity that God is trying to open for you, that you can walk through them. It's going to take a very strong person, a person who understands it's not just about me. Yes, I'm pain. Yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I've lost so much. But guess what? Right now, at this particular time, God is telling me to say this. And at this particular time, I'm going to just say it. Even though I have my own pain. Naomi could have sat in that house and she could have cried every day for the fact that she lost her children, the fact that she didn't have her husband. She could have sat and she could have been focused on that. But Naomi said, no, Ruth, I am not going to allow you to sit here with me and be crying and mourning and sad and depressed. No, boo. What I need you to do, I need you to follow these steps because you need to be taken care of. You're still young. You're still vibrant. You can still go out there and have children. I want you to go because God said for you to go out there to be fruitful and multiply. So guess what? You didn't have children with my son. So I need you to go and find that husband so that you can go out there and do what God needs you to do. There was a complete plan, a plan that was Ruth was not even going to be allowed to see and to witness. She didn't get to see and witness Jesus walk this earth and do what Jesus did, that only Jesus could do. But she understood. She understood. Naomi understood. Ruth has to do this. Her and Boaz have to meet. Right? We might not understand why. It might not ever happen in our lifetime. But what you're doing today is going to have an impact tomorrow. So I want you to remember the next time someone calls you and you're in your pain and you're in your depression, and God is telling you to answer the phone or to respond to the text messages, whatever God is telling you to do, I want you to do it. Because God can give you a message to give to someone else. And at the end of the day, you will be blessed. Because Naomi, right? This is a two-part, not one, two. We don't just need to know and learn from Jesus. We're supposed to go out there and we're supposed to embody and walk and live as Jesus did. So that leader that you're looking at, that mentor that you're looking at, you not only need to look up to them and look for them to give you some wisdom and look for them to give you some knowledge, but you also have to now become that person and embody some of those same characteristics and traits. And I know that's difficult for some of us, but it's not impossible. Just take the little bit that I just shared with you Think about the next time. And again, I've been in that scenario. I've been in that situation where you're just sitting there like, God, why do I have to be the strong one today? Why are you sending me to give this message? Can someone else go? I'm dealing with something. You ever been that way? Ever felt so down and defeated? And God is telling you to speak life into someone else? When God is telling you to go pour into someone else? When you all you have is $5 and God is telling you to give someone $1? Pay attention to why He's telling you. Obey why He is telling you to do this, because the blessing is coming back to you. He's gonna bless those that give, especially in a time like that. So I hope that this message has encouraged you. I hope it has inspired you. I am Tanisha, Shanee, Miss Inspiration, and I hope you all have an amazing day today. Well, amazing evening, rather.